Okay, good day everyone. We're going to be talking about jobs and unemployment. So, when you have completed your study of this chapter, you'll be able to define the unemployment rate and other labor market indicators, describe the trends and fluctuations in the indicators of labor market performance, and describe the types of unemployment. So, how long does it take to find a job? Let's talk about labor market indicators. The working age population is divided into those in the labor force and not in the labor force. So labor force is the number of people employed plus the number unemployed. In May 2013, the US labor force was 155.7 million people, 143.9 million people were employed, and 11.8 million people were unemployed. According to definitions of International Labour Organization, for the purpose of labor market statistics, people are classified as employed, unemployed, and economically inactive. So, population survey criteria. So, all persons during the week before the survey worked at least 1 hour or were not working. So, the survey counts as unemployed. All persons during the week before the survey had no employment, were available for work, and either had made efforts to find employment during previous 4 weeks or were waiting to be recalled to a job from which they had been laid off. So this figure shows the data for May 2013. So this amount of people, the population, this represents the working age population, this represents the labor force, and this is how many people are employed. So this is the 11.8 million out of the 143 million who are unemployed. Then these are the people that represent not in labor force, and these are the young, military, and institutionalized. So two main labor market indicators: the unemployment rate, labor force participation rate. So unemployment rate is the percentage of people in the labor force who are unemployed. The unemployment rate equals to number of people unemployed over the labor force times 100. The unemployment rate was 7.6% as at May 2013. Labor force participation rate is the percentage of working age population who are members of the labor force. So that labor force over working age population times 100. In May 2013, the labor force participation rate was 63.4%. So these are the labor market statistics for Nigeria, represented in quarterly data from 2015 quarter 3 to 2016 quarter 3. So we can see the changes in employment and unemployment and not in the labor force every quarter here. So the working age population in Nigeria as at 2016 is 108,033.4. So our unemployment rate is valued at 13.9% and labor force participation at 74.6%. So labor force population. This covers all persons aged 15 to 64 years who are willing and able to work regardless of whether they have a job or not. So unemployment therefore covers persons aged 15 to 64 who during the reference period were currently available for work, actively seeking for work, but were without work. A person is regarded as unemployed if he or she is engaged in the production of goods and services, thereby contributing to the gross domestic product in a legitimate manner. So let's define who an economically inactive person is. So these are people generally not in the labor force, and they include those not between 15 to 64. But there are people who are unable to work, not actively seeking for work, or choose not to work. List of persons considered not in the labor force. So we have voluntarily full-time housewives, underage children, adults above 65, full-time students, those in active military service, physically challenged people. You are unemployed if you did absolutely nothing at all or did something but for less than 20 hours during the reference week. Underemployment, however, occurs if you work less than full-time, which is 40 hours, but work at least 20 hours on an average a week, or if you work full-time but engage actively, that underutilizes your skills, time, and educational qualifications. So these are unemployment and underemployment rates from 2010 to 2016. So, as of 2010, unemployment rate was at 5.1, and 2016 it rose to 13.9. We've seen it fluctuate over the years. You can see in 2014 quarter 4 it came down to 6.4, and since then it has been steadily rising. So country comparison of unemployment. So the countries with the highest unemployment are Djibouti, Congo, Bosnia, Afghanistan, and Kenya. The lowest unemployment rate is Qatar at 0.2. So Nigeria is at 13.9 currently. So a discouraged worker is a marginally attached worker who has not made specific efforts to find a job within the previous 4 weeks because previous unsuccessful attempts were discouraging. So as of 2013, 753,000 people were discouraged workers. By adding these workers to the number of unemployed people, the unemployment rate becomes 8.8%. Part-time workers. Full-time workers are people who work 35 hours or more a week. Part-time workers are people who usually work less than 35 hours a week. So part-time for economic reasons are people who work 1 to 30 hours per week but are looking for full-time work. The participation rate. So the participation rate increased from 59% in 1960 to 67% in 1999. So between 1960 and 1999, the participation rate for women increased from 37 to 60%, and for men decreased from 83 to 70%. The key reason why there is always some unemployment is because the labor market is constantly churning. New jobs are created and old jobs die, and some people move into the labor force while some people move out. So there are 3 basic types of unemployment: frictional, structural, and cyclical. Unemployment and the real GDP. Cyclical unemployment is the fluctuating unemployment over the business cycle. Unemployment increases during recessions and decreases during expansion. At full employment, there is no cyclical unemployment. At the business cycle 2, cyclical unemployment is positive, and at business cycle peak, cyclical unemployment is negative. So, thank you for listening to my presentation.